Oh, what's this? What, more Divine Speaker? Is this the full game? Nah, it's an extended demo. um, I wasn't sure about playing it because I wasn't sure like if I wanted to like go through the whole like what we already played before. But then I saw someone who hadn't played it before. I saw like the beginning bit, and you could skip forward to when the original demo ended. So we're gonna do that. Also, hi. It's been a while. I know I've just jumped right in because I just want to jump right in, but it's been a while. Hello, hello. I missed you. I missed everyone. And let's just jump in. We get to meet. Oh my god, we get to meet one of the characters that I've been just dying to meet forever because it's the type of character that I like right off the bat. So I'm just like, I'm excited. All right, let's go. Start. Just a quick note before we actually really get into it. I had a little hiccup and I didn't record game audio. So I did a little workaround. So some of the in-game audio might not match what you're looking at on screen. So we'll see how it works out. Cool, cool. Welcome to the extended demo. Would you like to start from the beginning or from the end of the original demo? Jump to the end of the original demo. Let's do it. Also, I forgot that this has like, I call it full voice acting, but after I played Sensations, I'm not sure if it's ever going to see the light of day, that recording session, but that is like fully voice acted. Like even like the inner thoughts of the main character is voice acted, and that's not for me. That's not my jam. I need to read something because then it's just me sitting here. I woke up with a start, sweating and shaking. My heart was beating hard in my chest, the sound echoing through my head. Fawn, I missed you! Fawn sat up at the speed of light, jumping to his feet.
What is it?
I took a moment to calm my breath, waiting for it to return to normal.
No, nothing. I just had a weird dream. I keep having the same one. Oh my gosh. I thought you were dying or we were being attacked or something. But what happened in your dreams to scare you so much?
What part was scary? I thought back over it carefully. A booming voice, darkness all around me. I'm not exactly sure if it was scary to begin with. But every time they seem to get more powerful.
I don't really know. There's voices. Loud, powerful, booming voices. They keep telling me something. To open my eyes about destiny.
Vaughn stopped for a minute, like he does occasionally when he's thinking about what to say.
Maybe it means something? It could be some kind of vision.
Vision? Things like that don't exist, though.
Really? I've heard there are some people with strange abilities. So, I don't see how having visions is much different.
But we've always been taught that...
Listen, everything you've been taught, a lie. Or partial lie.
Just forget it. I'm sure they don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You might be right. I was just thinking out loud.
You know, you don't need to apologize so much. Especially not for talking. You didn't do anything wrong.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Vaughn.
I mean... Okay.
Vaughn quickly busies himself, moving around the room and preparing food. I looked outside. The sun was just starting to show in the distance, so it was still early. A light mist spread out through the trees. We ate more scavenged food and watched the sun as it rose up above us. Something about all this seemed too normal, like I'd already spent a lifetime here. The events of a few nights ago seemed so distant. All that exists is now.
Rain, I was thinking. I know we've only just met.
This is crazy. Here's my no, stop.
Would you like to live with me? Here?
Seriously? You'd let me do that?
My god. I love them.
Well, I've just been here alone for a long time. I think if you left now, it would start to get a little lonely. I can teach you how to live here. Where to go, where not to go. I'm sorry if that's too forward. We've only just met after all. What am I thinking? Sorry.
Well, it's not like I have anywhere else to go. Like he said, he hasn't seen anyone else out here. We might as well stick together if he's offering. The only other option would be to wander around alone. I don't ever want a repeat of my first night out here. Alone. Cold, scared. Plus, he had the kind of face that makes me want to look after him. Watching him babble like that is kind of endearing.
I would be very happy to stay here with you, if you'll have me.
Really? I was sure you'd say no.
His face brightened up instantly, a smile crossing his lips. He really does want me to stay.
Then how about I show you around a bit today? Only if you want to.
If I'm really going to live here, I'll have to learn my way around. I can't just trail after Fawn forever. He's doing me enough of a favor by letting me stay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I like that.
Hold on, I didn't put an alarm. No, I'm already bad at this again. It's been how many months? 2? Has it been 2 or has it been 3? I don't know, it's been a while. I ate the last of the red berries whilst I got dressed, the sweet taste lingering on my tongue for a while afterwards. Ah, God, I forgot this effect where, like, it looks like the shadows of the trees are on the sprites. Ugh. I spent the day wandering around the forest while Fawn gave me the lay of the land. He showed me a few landmarks I could use to get back to his house if I ever got lost. I quickly learned which berries were safe to pick and which could poison you just from touching them. He said there's a lot of deadly plants around, so it's best to ask if I'm not sure. It was like he knew everything. I suppose when you only have yourself to depend on, you have to be a walking encyclopedia. His eyes lit up as he explained topic after topic. It was obvious he really enjoyed having someone to talk to. It's actually a little sad that he's been alone all these years.
Oh, I kind of forgot about it before, but do you ever cook anything? I notice you've only eaten vegetables and fruits.
Cook anything?
Yeah, like on a stove. Or maybe you just use a fire. I'm actually pretty good at cooking.
No, I don't usually. Fire is... No, I usually just eat fresh food.
Is there a story behind that?
Huh, I see. Well, I'd love the chance to cook for you at some point.
The sun was high overhead, swimming in the vast blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight, yet it still felt cool as a soft breeze washed over us. We spent the day so far wandering from place to place, exploring and talking. Aruli Kavela felt like so long ago already. Honestly, it was fun. My chest felt light for the first time in days, just like hanging out with a friend. It felt normal. Slowly, with all the time in the world, we'd been collecting items from the riverbank we met just yesterday. A warm blanket, slightly damp, Fawn assures me it's still usable, a vase, the handle off a door.
Where does all this stuff come from, anyway?
I glanced towards Fawn, who was struggling with the mountain of random objects in his arms. He dropped something, go to pick it up, then dropped 5 more things in the process.
Give me some of those.
Thank you. As for where it all comes from...
He looked out into the distance, quiet for a moment.
I think this river connects to a large town, not far from here. I guess they must dump things into the river, and they come downstream and get caught on the banks. Giving them another use is better than letting them sit here. It makes me sad to see the wilderness so full of trash.
Well, we do have a river running through town. I've never seen anyone dump anything in it, though.
There's just so much here. It's hard to believe it's all just dumped.
It could be a different town. I've never been there, so I'm not sure.
There he goes again.
What do you mean? it could only be Aurelia Cavella.
I thought we established this. You've been lied to.
But there's a few other places nearby too.
Listen to the boy.
Are you sure you aren't a little confused?
Oh my god.
Where else would there be? It's just the forest. I don't think there would be a lot of others like you living out here.
But that's not...
Uh-oh. Before Fawn could respond, we heard a low growl come from the bushes to the left of us. We didn't have time to think. Neither of us had the chance to react before an animal bounded out of the grass straight towards me.
Watch out!
I braced myself for impact, but it never came. Instead, I was shoved and fell to the ground. From the ground, I finally got a good look at the thing that was slowly circling around Fawn. It was small and gray, teeth bared in a snarl. A wolf, it must be young by the size of it. Its dark eyes were set on Fawn, unmoving. Look at him. Vicious. Before it could get to me, Fawn pushed me away and took my place. What's he thinking? This is dangerous. Fawn stared back at the ferocious animal, not backing down. He slowly took small steps away from the animal, careful not to show his back.
Rain, just get up slowly and sneak away. I'll deal with this.
The hesitation was gone from his voice. The jittery, nervous Fawn I'd gotten used to was nowhere in sight.
Leave! We aren't scared of you!
In large motions, he waved his arms as he shouted. He was either trying to scare it or distract it long enough for me to get
Rain,
away.
quickly!
His voice was quiet but powerful, commanding. Making sure not to make too sudden of a movement, I crept up from my place on the rocky ground, shuffling away from both Fawn and the wolf. My heart was beating a million times a second. I could hear the pounding in my ears and feel it through my whole body. Please, lords, let them not hear it too. Fawn glanced at me out of the corner of his eye, still not turning away from the wolf.
Go back to the house. I'll leave after you.
I can't leave you here! You could—
It both started and was over in a blink of an eye. The wolf jumped straight at Fawn's face. Swiftly, he raised his arms to shield himself and ducked to the ground. When the wolf was directly over his head, he lifted his arms just enough to touch it and threw it into the river. The wolf crashed into the water, splashing about and whining loudly.
Quick, now!
We both picked up the pace, running away from the river as fast as possible. Fawn grabbed my arm and pulled me along in a vice-like grip. Behind us, all we could hear was furious splashing.
I thought we were meant to go slowly!
There's no time. Just go!
Fawn nearly pushed me up the rope, hurrying me into the house. As soon as we reached the top, he pulled it up after us. I collapsed to the floor in a heap, panting. Fawn did the same.
What? What just happened?
I don't know. They've never been aggressive towards me before.
Is it because of us?
We're friends. Or at least, I thought we were. He usually listens to me. I feed him when I can.
My breathing may have nearly returned to normal, but my heartbeat was nowhere close. I looked over towards Fawn. Something red was dripping onto the wooden floor.
What? You're hurt!
With a downcast expression, he rolled up his sleeve and examined his arm. Long red lines of blood dripped down and splattered against the floorboards, standing out clear as day. He hid it behind his back like a child with something they shouldn't have.
We have to bandage it or something.
I know a little bit of first aid, enough to look after those kids at home, but is it enough for this? He had piles and piles of random bits of cloth around the room, but every time I tried to pick one up...
Wait, not that one.
Oh, Fawn.
I just found that the other day.
Fine. If you really won't let me bandage it, then at least let me look at your arm.
I didn't wait for his objections. He turned his arm to face me. I think the blood made it look a lot worse than it was, but it still looked quite painful.
You could have been killed. You need to be more...
Lies. You have been lied to. Protect him. Destiny, open your arms. Take his pain.
Is that his power? He's a healer. Where am I? A loud voice boomed through my ears. I couldn't see anything. It was just me, the darkness, and it was just me, the darkness, and that voice. In the distance, I could see a light, bright like the sun on an early summer's day. I reached out towards it, my fingertips barely brushing against the cool radiance.
Rain, what's wrong?
When I opened my eyes, I haven't moved after all. I was still in Fawn's house, holding onto his arm. As soon as my fingertips touched Fawn, my vision went black. What just happened? The darkness was gone, and so was the voice. Everything was back to normal. Before I could open my mouth, a bright light flashed between Fawn's arm and my hand. The pain started in my fingertips and traveled upwards, all through my arm, an agonizing burning pain, not unlike that day. Before my eyes, the wound on Fawn's arm stitched back together, until all was left was the line of dried blood.
Huh?
My arm began to ache in response. When I rolled up my sleeve, my jaw nearly hit the ground.
What is
Did
this?
he take it? Oh, that is a dangerous kind of power to have. Powerful and dangerous. The drawback. We can heal, but we take on the wound ourselves. It hurts. Blood started to run down my arm and drip onto Fawn's wooden floor, just like his did only a moment ago. It really hurt. Is this what Fawn felt? The same gash that was Fawn's arm was now on mine. I locked eyes with Fawn. He looked just as confused as I did.
Huh? What did you just do?
That wasn't you?
He shook his head lightly, eyes wide. My mouth hung open in shock. I have absolutely no clue what just happened.
I don't know. I've never... This has never happened before. It's like
It's like you healed me, but now you have it instead. So I guess it's more like you took on my injury in my stead?
What? Just then?
Everything you do in life has an equal reaction and consequence. So...
Ouch. You didn't tell me it hurt this much.
He really was hiding how painful this is.
When I touched you, I heard the same voices that have been in my dreams lately. But this time, they were clearer. They told me it was my job to protect you. That I'd been lied to. Something about destiny. But my destiny...
I thought back to the judgment I received 18 years ago, the fate that controlled my whole life up until now, and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. The judgment that I was reminded of at every opportunity. Do we ever... I don't think we ever figured out what his judgment was. Even if I succeeded, I was pushed back down. After all, what could a useless boy with a useless judgment do in life? What is your judgment? I forgot! Oh yeah, see? We don't know what his judgment is, or like, the way they probably interpret how they interpret his judgment. It's not something I want to talk about, not yet.
The judgment I was given when I was born, it was nothing like this. What could this even mean?
Or they give him a fake judgment, so that he doesn't like try to figure out what his actual judgment was. That's what I've been like. Probably give him a wrong judge or like a fake judgment just so he doesn't follow destiny, but destiny has the ways, I guess. Fawn stopped again, thinking.
But destiny is what you make of it, right?
Mm.
If you just live your life to what someone told you so long ago, you'll never get anywhere. It's not like you don't have the power to change it.
The destinies we receive are never wrong, though. The speaker is never wrong.
I looked down at the cut on my arm again. My destiny couldn't be wrong. I suddenly remember the morning I woke up in the forest, the flowers that hadn't been there the night before. Did I have something to do with that? Maybe Fawn is onto something. Well, see, maybe that was his judgment. Was probably just maybe like one part of the judgment that they were like, oh no, and the rest of it could have been a good thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna know until like when they release the game because I remembered that this is a demo. Or maybe not, I don't know. Despite his temperament, Fawn really has a way with words. I think I must believe in what he's saying.
I guess I better bandage this after all.
Yeah, let me help you.
Even though he refused a moment ago, he quickly wrapped my arm up, not missing a beat. No matter how closely I look at my wound, it didn't go anywhere. It was really there. That really happened. This could be an amazing gift, but I couldn't help but think about how dangerous it could be too. And how come this never happened before? How could something like this happen out of nowhere? What triggered it? Maybe because you're out of the town.
Oh, Fawn?
He jumped, surprised when I called out to him suddenly.
You were really cool back there, though. I really felt like I could depend on you.
His face flared up again, as red as a rose.
Who knew you could be so dashing?
Oh. After everything that happened, it was finally starting to get dark out. The sun was setting over the horizon, leaving the forest cold and quiet.
Actually, there's one other place I'd like to show you today.
Is that a good idea? Do you think the wolf is gone?
Yeah. We'll be going the opposite direction, so... I wasn't actually going to show you this, in case it frightened you. But I feel like I should. It's the right thing to do. We finished wrapping my injury in makeshift bandages and pulled my sleeve down. What does he mean in case it frightens me?
What is it? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. But I think you've already seen the effects of it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
If your arm isn't hurting too badly, will you come with me? I know how much it hurt, so you don't have to force yourself.
He doesn't usually look so serious, and his words are making me a little nervous, especially after what happened earlier. But I guess after his performance before, I feel like I can depend on him if anything goes wrong. Plus, I gotta show him that I can protect him too.
Yeah, sure.
Why is this blue? Is it just gonna show me his profile that it updated? Is that what that means? I follow Fawn down the ladder and through the growing darkness. This time we walked for what felt like forever. On and on, everything looked the same, as if we were going in circles. My arm throbbed with every step, but there wasn't much I can do about it now. I just have to suck it up. It was already pitch black out here. I hope Fawn knows his way. I watched Fawn's back whilst I walked. He had slim shoulders and a small figure, but he still looked fit, maybe even more than me. He's probably strong too. Muscular but so slim. I guess living out here, he would have to be pretty in shape. I wonder how long he's truly been alone, and why. It isn't my place to be nosy, but I can't help but wonder. I don't think he wants to talk about it though, and I won't push him. His short hair was messy from running earlier. Well, messier than it usually was. Which is saying something, since it usually since it's usually pretty wild anyway. At least he's not injured anymore. I felt at my arm just to confirm the bandage was actually there. Yeah, it was. It really happened. I pulled up my sleeve enough to glance at my other arm. The markings still stood against my skin as much as the day they appeared. These markings, those dreams, Fawn's injury. What connects them? Is it all just one big coincidence? No matter how much I turned those thoughts around in my head, I wasn't getting anywhere. Nothing made sense.
Whoa.
Absorbed in my thoughts, I bumped straight into Fawn when he suddenly stopped in his tracks.
Shh. Look.
I peered out over his shoulder. My body instantly stiffened up.
What is that?
Show me. The forest in front of us filled with some kind of blue glowing mist that gently swayed back and forth to an unseen rhythm. The color was unnatural, yet beautiful. In the haze, I could almost see faces. Blue, lifeless faces. One second they were there, and the next there was nothing, as if my mind was playing tricks on me.
The forest spirits. They're angry.
Oh. Okay. I listened closely to him, my breath stuck in my throat. We stood a distance from the mist and peered out towards the trees. And peered out between the trees.
They didn't originally come from here. The town to the west of here. The one that you're so sure is your home.
Oh, is it causing this?
Every once in a while, they dump
Oh, God.
things out here. Most of the time, you wouldn't be able to tell what they are.
Oh my God, it's
Sometimes.
people! Is it people? Oh, God.
Sometimes, they're still whole.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Because I think I said this before, like, I'm pretty sure the town makes people forget other people. And it's why no one actually remembers the prince. Or that there was a prince. Because now they don't have a prince, but they have these books. The speaker knows, because when our main character, I'm sorry, I forget your name, I forgot how to pronounce it, went to go with the speaker and saw all these books and saw like all this history and stuff, like with the princess. It's like, what? We had princess? And like royalty? But like no one remembers it, and people should remember it, right? It hasn't been that long since they had like the last prince or something, I think. I don't know. Look up. Continue. I gulped. A cold sweat ran down my back, and my hands shook. I tried to hide them from Fawn, who looked as calm as ever.
Things?
I think you already encountered it before. The arm you found before we met? They've always been here, since before I came. But they're angrier. More now than ever. It's like they're sticking around for some reason, but they don't really want to be here. I can't think of any reason for such a large amount of bodies to be piled up the way they are.
What are they doing in this town?
Lately, the flowers haven't bloomed as early. The leaves have fallen from the trees much more quickly. Fruits and vegetables barely grow. The animals stay in my house for safety or hide far away. Something's going on. Plus, that wolf from earlier. The forest seems angry, like it's lashing out at something that hurt it.
I thought back to home. I didn't mean to sound like emotional there. My throat just went like, I thought back to home, to Aurelia Cavela.
They've been
There's 2 periods there.
dumping bodies out here?
There's 2 periods there too! Fix your shit down! No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. There's 2 there! I couldn't watch them for even a second longer. They were terrifyingly beautiful, enough to make me feel ill. This can't be real. Surely if I just look away or close my eyes, they'll disappear.
But the speaker says that those that die get buried in Azeros. With the elders that live there.
I don't know anything about that.
Damn, they just be dumping bodies like no one's business. How dare! And because like they've been promised like something like kind of like nice, of course they're gonna be like restless. These spirits be like, this is sus. I hate this. I want revenge. I want a proper burial. Excuse me? I was promised a proper burial.
But bodies definitely get dumped out here, and their spirits linger for some reason or another. I wasn't sure I should show you this. I wanted to show you beauty rather than scary things, but you deserved to know. If you want to stay here with me, then you would have found out eventually. It's better if you learn from me.
I held onto the back of Fawn's shirt tightly. There's nothing I could say.
Let's go back now, okay? Just don't come back here by yourself. I've never let myself be seen by them, and I wouldn't want you to find out what they'd do to you if they did.
I looked back at the hazy figures one more time. They floated back and forth silently. It couldn't be true. None of it's true. Surely they've come from somewhere else, but where? Where else is there? The speaker wouldn't lie to us. I know there's like a side game or something from before all the events happen that might put some light into it, but I don't want to be spoiled. So I haven't been like keeping up with that at all. My mind flickers back to his icy eyes, the way he stared me down, despite never speaking to me before.
Let's go.
I kept a hold of Fawn's shirt as we turned to leave. Something deep inside of me told me not to turn back, but I glanced over my shoulder. No! When your gut says no, you don't do the thing! The figures had all stopped. They looked like they were staring right at me. Or was it right through me? My head whipped back around. I didn't turn back again. Is that a tree or is that a person out there? Right there. Is that a tree? The shape is weird. I'm questioning my existence right now with that shape. The event back to Fawn's house was both chilling and uneventful. Even when I expected something to jump out and grab me before dragging me back into the pitch black darkness, nothing came. I held on to Fawn's shirt the whole time, but he didn't seem to mind, so much for acting tough in front of him. My eyes darted around, desperate for something, anything. No matter where I looked, I could feel those ghostly figures watching me. It was only my imagination, right? It's just the forest. Oh god. Oh god. You gotta fix that. If I'm in here and I'm moving my mouse wheel up and down, it should not be turning me back in time with the text, okay? Don't do that. Once we got back to Fawn's treehouse, I went up the ladder as fast as I could, and he quickly climbed up after me. All I wanted was the comfort of walls around me, even if they were in a tree. When I looked at him, his face seemed grim, his expression sullen.
I'm sorry. Would you have rathered I didn't show you? I don't know if it was a mistake or not.
I think he needed to know. So it'd be a good thing to show him, especially since he's still so skeptical about there being more towns than the one that he grew up in.
They've always been there, but they've never left that area. It's like they're stuck there. I don't think they can follow us here, so we're safe. I wouldn't let you be hurt, you know.
They looked away from me.
Don't worry, because I...
Baby boy.
I'll protect you.
Oh my god, he's cute. He spit out the line before turning around and pretending to be busy. He rolls back around, his face bright red.
What's so funny? I'm being serious.
I couldn't help it. Rather, I didn't want to help it. It felt good to break the tension.
No. I believe you.
It doesn't sound like it.
Sometimes Fawn really does seem full of youthful energy. What a brave guy, so dependable. Actually, now that I think about it...
So, Fawn, I know you said you didn't know how long ago you came here, but do you know how old you are?
He stopped what he was doing to think for a moment. His face was still as red as a tomato, though.
I should have turned around 20 this year, I think.
Whoa, no way! I can't believe I'm younger than you.
This whole time, I thought he was the same age as me. His small frame doesn't help that.
Wait, how old are you?
18.
It was my 18th birthday 2 days ago.
You got thrown out on your birthday?
He looked pretty upset.
Yeah, but like you said, there's always two sides to anything. I might have left my home, but
He's gonna say something sappy.
I wouldn't have met you otherwise.
I smiled at him. I wasn't even really exaggerating. It's true. Bad things have happened, but Fawn's been the only reason I've survived out here, so I have to look at the bright side. Honestly, it feels like we've known each other for much longer than we actually have. It feels natural to be this close to him. I wonder if it's because of his personality? It makes me want to trust him, to get to know him.
I mean...
He covered his bright face up with his hand so I couldn't see him.
Sometimes you say the most romantic, corny things. It's embarrassing. How do you come up with these lines?
Romantic?
Oh my god. I thought that word over in my head. Romantic. That's... is romance dead? Is romance dead in that town? Oh my god, romance is dead in that town. Nope, I've definitely never heard it before.
What does that mean?
He uncovered his face and looked straight at me.
You know, like, kind of lovey-dovey, mushy...
Lovey-dovey?
You know, love?
What is this town doing? What is this town doing? I don't understand. Romance is dead. Love is dead. What?
Hmm?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't be serious. It's what one person feels for another. And they get married, have kids, be in love, kiss, you know. It's that feeling you get in your chest when you look at someone you want to spend your life with.
I've never heard of it.
Love is dead. Maybe this is that kind of forest lingo. Should I try to fit in? No.
Haven't you seen people in your village in love? With children?
At home. Of course we have children. The speaker usually just pairs people together. We don't get to pick who we end up with. Most of the time it's people of similar positions or class. Then they have children.
What is this town? Oh, it's awful.
But I've never heard of love or kissing or marriage.
I don't understand. Love is dead. That's the only thing I know.
You don't have love? Are you telling me it doesn't exist there? How can that be true? How could anyone survive without love?
Can you teach me about what kissing is? No. Marriage, what does that mean? It doesn't sound important. Excuse, sir. I need an adult that isn't me. I'm not sure who the hecky hey I'm gonna try to romance in this story. The Fawn seems nice, but also the flirty one. I want to meet I need to meet all these people besides Fawn, because the only one I know intimately is Fawn. Marriage, what does that mean? Eh.
Marriage. You said that before. But what is it?
When you find someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, you give them a necklace with a gem in it. Usually they're handmade, and they symbolize the promise you make with each other to stay together forever.
Oh! Kinda like the two of us!
Not like that! This boy.
Are we married then?
I guess. Just common law married. We live each other, we signed like papers saying we're together. I guess it's fine. His face lit up even brighter.
It's special. You can only do it with someone really special to you.
But you're special to me.
Before I could ask any more questions, he leapt into the bed and buried his face in his pillow.
I'm suddenly really tired. Good night.
Oh my god. He seemed kind of embarrassed. Is love embarrassing? Love can be embarrassing. How come I've never heard of it? Why is the town like this? I don't understand. Oh my god. I lay down on my back next to Fawn, arms behind my head. More and more questions. When am I going to get some answers?
Hey, Fawn?
No response. Either he's too embarrassed or he's already asleep. I quietly stripped down to my underwear. I should think of a way to thank him properly. With my eyes closed, I went over everything that's happened in the last few days. This marking. The red-headed man. The speaker. I love this photo of the speaker. Hold on. Sorry, I really like that photo.
You look just like your father did.
What do you mean? No. What do you mean? This is the line I was talking about earlier. I don't understand. Did he know my father? How? Why? No matter how much I thought about it, no answer came to me. Instead, I slowly drifted off to sleep to the sound of Fawn gently breathing.
Wake up.
Well, before I wake up, thank you guys for joining me. It's nice to be back. I'll see you in the next part. Make sure to check out the game. Links in the description as always. Please, oh my god, check out this game for yourself. Oh, it's amazing. Support the devs. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. It's been so long. I swear I'm fine. I probably peaked a lot. I'm sorry.